Anyway, let's get started. You all know who I am, most of you, and I already went through this the last time, so I'll pass with all that. But kind of procedurally, we'll go through all the topics. We hope we won't run out of time, and I think there'll probably be one or two questions at the end, so we'll try to fit those in. But let's get started. We're going to start with the plant manager, Jeff LaMarche. He's going to kick it off and go from there.
Morning. All right, let me first sound check in the back. Yep. We good? Good. All right, good. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's see, when we were last together, that was what, Labor Day, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's been going on in the plant since September. So, you know, we finished up all of the launches now for the C7, right? So since we were last together, we started production of the Z06, first with the coupe manuals in November. We moved into, in December, the convertible manuals, and then in January, the 8-speed automatic, both coupe and convertible. So we finished all the launches. Been a long road, long couple of years for the Corvette team, and so now we're into the steady state part of our build. Everything's really going very, very well. We've had a very exciting winter, very unusual winter in Bowling Green. We actually got to experience several nice snowfalls, which I learned personally that there is zero snow removal equipment in the state of Kentucky. So it was a little exciting winter. We actually had 3 days we could not run because of snow, and because we had to get people to work. That was a little bit different, very unusual. But we were able to catch those up. We exceeded the build schedule for the first quarter, and we are actually ahead of schedule for April. So that's good news. So that means more of you get more cars, which makes all of us very, very happy. We've also then, just recently in March, we kicked off the Build Your Own Engine program, the engine build experience. And so, you know, many of you remember, and probably several of you in this room went through that at Wixom, Michigan, building your own engine. Back then, LS9s, but now for LT4s within our plant. And it's been just an awesome experience. Very, very great day for our customers. Spend the full day with us, build an engine side by side with one of our engine build technicians. And if you didn't get a chance to see it yesterday, we'll be back over today. We have our folks doing live demos back in the PDI area today and tomorrow as well. But it's been absolutely a home run. And it's, I think it's even more intimate and a better way for the customer to truly connect and bond with their vehicle, because as they sit there and they build their engine throughout the day, they can look out through the windows of the Performance Build Center and they can see the Corvettes going by. And so they just get to dream and know that that's there. In GM, we have one of our core values is to build customers for life. Corvette is easily the best, probably example of that in General Motors. And you know, the stories we've seen so far of our engine build customers absolutely demonstrates customers for life. We've had husbands and wives, fathers and sons, you name it. And when they put their name on the top of that engine, right at the front of the supercharger at the end of the day, you know, that's a bond, that's part of their family forever. And so it's been really great. Very successful, like I say, a home run, and I know we'll get many, many more in the 16 model year when we kick that off. Right now, we just started, just in the last couple weeks, building the 16s. So the ones that are out there on the patio that we'll see shortly just came out of the plant. And so we're going through the final tune-up and stages, getting ready for the model change. That'll be later here towards the end of the second quarter. And it's a rolling change, so there's no downtime, there's no gaps. We'll go straight from 15 into 16. And we'll keep it going. We're still on a daily overtime schedule, 170 cars a day. That's all we can make. And so that, if somebody doesn't get one, I'm sorry, they're still very, very popular. And I get plenty of calls and letters, where's my car, how come I'm waiting so long? I mean, hey, it's a good problem to have for us, that everybody's still very enthusiastic and excited about the car. So if you didn't get a 15, 16 orders start Monday, jump on in. So with that, let me introduce, next one up, Taj Jupiter.
Thanks, Jeff. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah. Sounds like it. Okay. I guess another round of applause for Jeff and the whole plan. These guys have been doing, it's been max overtime here since we introduced the car. Maximum overtime here at the plant, maximum overtime at the suppliers. People have been working their finger to the bone, really, just trying to get as many of these cars out, make sure they're all perfect. Really astonishing success. So we really have all you guys to thank for that. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. I'd like to recognize a special guest we have here today. I've been coming to the birthday bash for a long time, but this is the first time I brought my mother. And so I'd like my mom and her partner, Richard Ford, to stand up, recognize them. Thank you very much. It's nice to make them feel part of the family, the Corvette family. Okay, so we're going to go through a few things today. Me and Harlan and Ryan Vaughn. I guess how many of you were here for the first presentation of the morning? Ed Moss and John Andrews? Okay, quite a few. So I hope it's not too much repetitive, but we are going to talk about what's new for 16. And I know some of that has started to leak out there, but we're going to go give you the real scoop, as we always do here at the birthday bash, on what's new for the next model year. So I'll do a few things in advance of that. You see we do the badge now. You can get chrome and black badges on the car, which is very nice. So we changed the display for that. Really, this has sort of been the year of the Z06. We talked about the Z06 last year after we introduced it. We didn't start production till last fall, exactly on time as we promised. The cars have been extremely well received. We're producing more Z06s than we ever thought we would. We're right at max capacity for Z06. And so we've been spending a lot of time talking about it publicly. We've done our traditional way of rolling it out. We describe the car to the media, tell them what it is. You see all the articles around that. And then we let them drive it at our own event, not with competitive cars, but just let them experience the car on the track and the road. And you saw a whole wave of articles about that. And now we've just got a big press pool of cars that we're letting the media put up against other vehicles, do all sorts of independent third-party tests. And now you're starting to see some of those articles, so I'll cover those with you. But just to quickly go through the Z06 in case some people haven't seen the story, you remember that it started back in '63 with Zora basically sneaking race car hardware out to people who wanted to race the car out of the assembly plant because it was not legal for General Motors, or not legal for policy reasons to support racing. So Zora found a backdoor way to do it with the Z06 back in 1963. And then with Dave Hill and myself in the 5th generation car, we brought the Z06 back on the C5 with more of a track, more of a purpose-built car, kind of hardcore back in 2001. And then we really upped the ante for the C6 with the aluminum frame and carbon panels and the LS7 engine, legendary engine now. But the whole time we've been adding different options, different things that customers coming to events like this really wanted to have. And so we've been trying to kind of expand the bandwidth of the car. Sorry, I went a few slides forward. You know, so that more people could use the car. In fact, I remember here at the birthday bash, one of the most common questions was, God, you got this fantastic high-performance car. Why can I only get it in a manual transmission? Me and my spouse, we can't agree on a transmission. We really would like an automatic, but I can't get the highest performance car with an automatic. And the same thing, people wanted open air option. They didn't want to be stuck with a fixed roof. So really it was based on a lot of folks' input that they really wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And so we started moving the Z06 in a direction where you could have everything. That's why we said most common customer question was, why can't I have this, that, or the other thing? So we're trying to design the car so that you can have it your way, exactly as you want. We released the performance specs quite some time ago. We didn't think it was possible for a front engine car to do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. We had no idea that would be achievable when we started this car, but the automatic version really does do that. It's got better weight bias than the previous generation ZR1. It's got a huge amount of torque off the line. It's got tremendously sticky tires in the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tires. And so we're able to achieve 0-60 in under 3 seconds. The only car in history to do that. Only the front engine car. We said we were 1.2 Gs cornering, and that was the highest production car we'd ever tested. And it's been validated now in numerous magazine tests that it's the best cornering car in the world, regardless of price. Same thing with braking. You know, the chassis is so well set up, the brakes are so good, the tires are so sticky. It's the best braking car in the world as well. So all of that translates into well-rounded performance in a variety of different venues. If you look at cars 600 horsepower plus, you don't see optional transmissions. You typically see just the paddles shifted, typically a DCT or some kind of automated manual. You don't have a traditional automatic and a manual transmission. We're really proud and happy to be offering both for people who want them. We have a 7-speed manual, which is really perhaps the best manual transmission in the world with rev matching, or we have our world-class 8-speed automatic, which gives you all the benefits of a normal 8-speed, plus you can take it on the track and it does automated shifted for you. Super quick shifts equivalent to any DCT on the market. There's been a lot of questions about the aero packages on the car. There's 3 levels of aero, so we've been talking about those a lot publicly. You get the standard car with a relatively small splitter and a 3-piece spoiler on the back end. It has excellent aerodynamic performance. It's better aerodynamic performance than the last generation ZR1. The total car has it's almost a neutral car. It has slight lift at very high speeds, 42 pounds at 150 miles an hour. So those of you who go 150 miles an hour, you have a very slight total lift on the car. It's actually downforce on the back and a little bit of lift on the front. You want to do it that way because you want to make sure the car understeers at speed. You don't want to pin the front end down and then not have enough downforce on the back end. You want to be conservative because you don't want the car stepping out at very high speed. So we try to be conservative and dial the aero in such that the car will understeer at high speeds. The next level package is what we call the Stage 2. It has a big downforce on the front and the back with a large splitter and big wickers on the back of the spoiler. And then that has almost 200 pounds of downforce at 150 miles an hour. And then for the Z07 package, which is really intended for the track, although it is street legal, it's really designed to be on the track. Almost 350 pounds of downforce, and you can really see that in some of the track times that are being posted. It's got the very large end caps on the front splitter and what we call a bridge wicker on the back that's adjustable and transparent, so you can actually see out the back through the rear view mirror. Here's the back end look of that. Here's the bridge piece. I'm sure a lot of you have looked at the car, have seen that. I don't see too many Z07s out there running around without this on. So even though we recommend it for the track, everybody puts it on just because it looks cool. We've done a lot of testing at the Nürburgring. I always get the question, what's your Nürburgring time? We have not gotten a complete lap, and we've always said we're not going to claim a time until we've run a complete lap, all done on one day, not a segment time, and have video proof of that. It's getting harder and harder to do that. The Nürburgring is now owned by new ownership, and they're making it tougher and tougher to get out there. In fact, we were out in Germany, Jim Merrow and company, the last couple of weeks, trying to get a good lap. They're actually doing construction this time during our industry pool time, changing a guardrail, and so they said, well, you can do a fast lap, except we're going to put speed limits on it for a big section of the track. So go ahead, run your video. You can do a continuous lap, but for a very important corner, We're going to actually cone it down, and you're going to have to, we're going to put a speed limit, we're going to put a person out there with a radar gun on you, and if you violate the speed limit, there's going to be a fine. So we said thanks, but no thanks. We'll wait until you have the construction done. So we're still trying to do that, and as soon as we have a complete lap, we'll let you know about it. But we have done a lot of testing around other tracks. At VIR specifically, we published the time 241.3 of the grand course, and you'll see the Z06 being tested by multiple media events around the world, really, doing laps, and it's extremely competitive. In fact, on VIR, according to our data, it's 4.3 seconds faster than the last generation ZR1. The performance data recorder is, how many people in here have this? Just curious. How many people use it? Almost everybody. Okay, that's good. We're really starting to see some interesting use cases out there. I don't know if people saw, there was a police officer actually videotaping people doing street racing using Corvette with the PDR, and got evidence on film. So that's not the use case we imagined when we put it out there. We really thought this would be primarily track usage, but you can start to see some of the videos pop up on YouTube of all sorts of interesting and different situations where people are finding this useful. And we're trying to continuously upgrade this. You'll see over time it get better and better. But you know, it's intended to record your experiences on video, all the data synced with it, and then you can use the Cosworth Toolbox software to do detailed analysis on racetrack performance. I wanted to show this video taken with a PDR. This is actually of the lap that Jim Merrow did around VIR. So since I don't have a Nürburgring one to show you, I'll show you this one. What's interesting to me about this is how Jim keeps the friction circle. You watch when he's going around the corner, it's just pegged. So 1.25 Gs in every direction. That's how you get a fast lap. This is a manual, and I've had that question before. It wasn't designed that way, it just happens to be the lap. That's what the car he happened to be driving when he recorded this lap. I have to be careful standing up here watching that. I find myself leaning into the corners and almost fell off the stage. Jim doesn't mess around. He's very aggressive out there, and I've even had comments from some of the media that, oh, that's how you drive that course, because some people test there, and this was actually, we put this video out there, it's actually been instructional for them for how to get speed on that track. We've also integrated the PDR into our new Valet mode. We put this video out there to just kind of show what it does. This is kind of a nice benefit, side benefit of having the PDR in your car.
When you own a Corvette, it's not always easy to give up the keys. Especially when we've all heard horror stories about valets behaving badly. For 2015, Chevrolet's made it easier than ever for Corvette owners to valet their car with confidence. The new Valet mode with performance data recorder locks interior storage, disables infotainment, and allows the owner to record video, audio, and even vehicle data.
Jim, might need a little help here.
So they know exactly what happened to their baby while they were away. Valet mode with performance data recorder is only available on 2015 Corvette models and not available on any other performance car.
This is taking a Porsche.
How many people had seen that before? I'm just curious. Okay, we put that out there quite a while ago, but I'm glad I showed it. Seems like a lot of people enjoyed that. I mentioned continuous improvement. We're all about continuous improvement. That's one of the reasons we come to the Birthday Bash. We want to hear from you about your experiences with the car. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? We incorporate a lot of that. We take that back to Michigan, and we really try to, we're kind of the benchmark for customer interaction, and we try to really take that to heart and do what you guys want, and that's part of the reason the car's so successful. So actually, this just broke. This just happened. You saw the videos that we shot ourselves with the PDR. That was with the original calibration introduced last year at 15 when we introduced the system. But we're in the spirit of continuous improvement. We do have some new software and calibration for the camera that improves the image quality. The original release is here on the left. The new one is there on the right. That entered production right at the end of March, beginning of April, so all cars built after that have this in. And we're trying to figure out a way to make that available to it's back serviceable, so we're trying to figure out how to get it to anybody who's got the car already. We're looking for like a simple way that you can download a file onto an SD card, plug it in, and it'll update, so you don't even have to go to the dealer. So we're trying to figure that out, and we'll let people know as soon as we get that. Okay, I mentioned some of the articles. We're really seeing a lot of these out here, and we're talking about the success of the car. If you look at the rest of the sports car industry around the world, nothing compares to what the Corvette is experiencing right now. So thank you very much for that. I mean, our sales have just been through the roof, and people are still clamoring for them, not just here in the U.S., but all around the world. We hear the Europeans asking, why do we give so many cars to the U.S. and to you folks? They really want to have them over there because they can sell them. Middle East, a lot of people buying the car in the Middle East. The car's a smash hit in Japan. You might not think that, but the steering wheel's on the wrong side for them. They don't care. They can't get enough of the cars over there. So really excellent performance. You probably read a lot of these articles, but I'm going to highlight a few here. Even in the golden age of automobiles we're currently enjoying, it's rare for one car to get so many things so right. The 2015 Corvette Z06 shattered even the high standards set for 21st century sports cars. And they do kind of the top 10, and some of the things they indicate on the top 10 are the things we talked about that customers have asked us about, wanting 8-speed transmission, automatic transmission, or open air options, so they highlight that as a good thing to have. Jalopnik, 650 horsepower All-American, middle finger to European supercars. It's face-meltingly, unapologetically, unbelievably fast. You're in any gear, just step on the gas and prepare to have your world change. Really, really nice articles from them. Here's a bold ride. Corvette Z06 is the best American sports car by far. This is written by a guy who is a Dodge fanboy, admits it himself, is a Hellcat fanboy, but no domestic sheet metal matched the Challenger and the Charger for performance, exhilaration, and price. All that flew out the window at extremely high speeds after driving this 2015 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Sorry, Dodge brothers, but the Corvette Z06 is a world-class supercar. Nice. Okay, here's Motor Trend. 2015 Corvette Z06 on notice. Goodbye ZR1 and everybody else. Now, I want to make sure people understand the last generation ZR1 was a hell of a car. A hell of a car. And I've been quoted in the media saying, oh, it's no good, new car is the one to have. That's not true. The last generation ZR1 is a hell of a car. In fact, there's been people, insiders on the team, who've bought the ZR1, knew that it was going out of production. So some of our own team folks have stepped up and really wanted to own that car and bought that car. So I don't want everybody thinking I'm dissing the last generation car. I worked really hard on those cars. But we're really proud of what the Z06 can do. The price is bewildering, as you'd expect to spend nearly $1 million elsewhere to reach Z06 performance. And they're quoting me here, the Z06 appears to be the product of have your cake and eat it too department. And if you've spent any time in it, you realize that you get this incredible world-beating performance with hardly any compromise. The car is relatively comfortable, it's got all the creature comforts, all the features. It's very easy to live with. Here's Wired. The ferocious new Z06 is an $80,000 Ferrari killer. Really very nice comments in here. Automobile, balance of power. This is actually a test run against the McLaren, and you've seen us starting to be put up against some very expensive, very capable cars from extremely accomplished manufacturers, and we've more than held our own. We've done extremely well. At your fingertips is every modern convenience. It's easy to drive and relax, real charmer. When I flatten the gas pedal, use the same kind of language, and my world changed. Certain lower abdominal apertures suddenly hung out a sign that said, "We're closed." My ears fainted, passing trees melted, distant farmhouses flew at me as if hurled by Dodger pitcher Clayton Kershaw. So, he's talking about the engine. The engine has tremendous low-end torque, so pretty much any gear feels fantastic. Planting your right foot and the normally subdued exhaust note goes full Krakatoa, hammering to the 6,600 RPM red line with delicious ease and threatening to shatter not only nearby windows, but also the ego of many Porsche drivers within earshot. So these guys are really, really working hard with the hyperbole on these cars. Here's Car and Driver testing us versus the Nissan GT-R and a Porsche 911 Turbo, both fantastic drivers' cars. The final results rank the Corvette #1. For all race car-like performance, the Z06 adds to the Stingray. Refinement, civility, and ride are hardly degraded. regular commuter or Force 5 Hurricane, the Z06 plays both roles with equal aplomb. So thank you for Car and Driver. And I mentioned overseas in Europe, here's a well-known media. It's written in German, so but this was putting up us against the McLaren. It's very tough in Europe. There's a huge home field advantage, generally speaking, for manufacturers in Europe. So they're very reluctant to put American products above them. But you can see, same kind of rating system, actually rated the Z06 better than the McLaren 650 Spider. And the headline on the front page says Z06 beats them all. In the end, the Chevrolet wins the comparison, not by a lot. McLaren's a hell of a car. They've been doing good cars for a long time. The editor stresses the fact that the new Z06 is the fastest series production car at the track that they tested at, and the new leader when it comes to the performance index. They have their own metrics of performance and value, and a bunch of things go into it, and it's the best car they ever tested. You guys have seen all the awards. I know Ed showed the award chart, so we've really done very well with the media and other people who give awards, both for the Stingray and the Z06, even though it's not been out very long, but really have to build a new trophy case for all the awards we're getting. It's very, very humbling to see the reaction that we've had. Okay, but we're never willing to rest on our laurels. That's why we come here. That's why we try to do something, make the car better and better each year. I'm going to turn it over to Harlan and Ryan to talk in detail about this, but for 2016, like Jeff said, we've got the big bulk of the models associated with the C7 introduced and in series production. So we're doing continuous improvement and trying to continue to offer interesting things for folks. We're doing a C7R special edition package that we're going to show you. Harlan's going to talk about that. We've got design packages. You know, when we introduce the car, it has a huge visual impact, but it's also an excellent starting place to do really unique looking cars. And so we're going to start to take advantage of that. Ryan's going to talk about those. We've got a new standard wheel design on the Stingray. We've got a hood, like B92 hood with a visible carbon stripe in the middle. Looks really cool. Here's something, another customer push have asked for us. I don't know how many people have bumped their nose of their Stingray on a curb or something. And, well, we have a few people willing to admit it. But you know, we drive the cars all the time too. It's real easy to come up and scrape the underside of the nose, or if you have one of the cars with the aggressive splitter on it, you're always worried about how close can I come to a curb. So we've got front curb cameras now that you can actually peer out the front of the car and see where that is. I know it took us a long time, but we finally got there. We've been wanting to do that for a long time. Okay. The comment was his wife thanks him. He doesn't need it, but his wife needs it. Okay. We are going to offer magnetic ride without forcing Z51, so you can get the standard suspension with the magnetic ride. That's been a customer request for some times. Also, you can get the big wheels and the Z51 spoiler, independent of a Z51. A lot of people like the flat bottom steering wheel on the Z06, so we're just going to roll that across the board. Two-tone seats. We've offered two-tone seats a number of times. They look real sporty, look real racy, so we wanted to bring those back. And then contrasting stitch, red or yellow contrasting stitch, really picks up the car. Got some Stitch fans over here. And then finally, another customer request is that we're bringing back the power cinching latch. So when you close the hatch for the deck lid, you can just kind of drop it and it cinches down. Okay. So we're making some people happy. So I wanted to turn it over to Harlan, and he can talk to you in more detail. Thanks.
Yeah, before I go into more of the 2016, I have to throw out some more facts and figures first to make you sit through. But all the people are interested in this. Of course, the race. How many people are watching Corvette racing? Great, everybody. Why wouldn't you, right? Great results in Daytona and Sebring with first place. Pretty good in Long Beach. The prototype car is doing well also. And the neat thing about Sebring, I was there, was the podium. You see Corvette, then Ferrari, and Porsche. So that's the New World Order. And the same is true, in the showroom, thanks to you. We're talking about the sales. Clearly, first place in the luxury sports car segment. You can see Corvette clearly winning. All the competitors, you may read a lot of hype from the different cars, like the new Jaguar and the different iterations of the new Porsches are coming out. But they're really, we're really dominating the whole segment. And actually, this past month, March, the last full month we've had, where was everybody in 1985? So thinking about it. And that was the last time that we had a higher March sales for Corvette, was 30 years ago in 1985, than we just had now. So we're truly living in our golden age. And a lot of people are interested in the facts. This is the 2015 so far. And you can see this is the coupe with Z51, convertibles. You can see for the most part, the 3LT package, it's our top package, is doing really well. We're seeing on the Stingray coupe, starting to see some more of the 1LT, 2LT starting to pop up there as more people getting in. And then the new Z06, because most people getting the 3LZ package, which is great. And convertible started a little bit later than the coupe, but it's doing well also. And actually, look, it's 8,200 Z06s so far. So this is easily going to be the highest Z06 year we've ever had, I think, as well. And it's getting into more of the options. A few of the things, the new 8-speed paddle shift is about 3/4 of all the Stingrays. Seeing the even split with the Z51 package. We came out with this new carbon flash badge package you see there. It's about 1 out of 5 cars. Red brakes are doing really well, and then the Z51 black wheels are very popular too. But I encourage you to check out the machine wheels, the black machined on both sizes. Those are really, I'm surprised those aren't doing well. It's a really good looking wheel. I think just a lot of people don't know about it. And looking at some of the same things on the Z06, we're seeing almost 40% are getting the Z07 package with the ceramic brakes and the cup tires. The 8-speed is 48%. Again, remember we had a few months that were manual only, so I think that's going to keep climbing up there. I think pretty soon it'll be the majority of the Z06s will be the 8-speed cars as well. And 32% are getting the competition seats, which are really nice. And again, the black wheels are doing really well in the Z06 too. It's fun to look at colors also. And I broke it up. It's a little bit different on the Stingray. But of course, the classic colors, Arctic White and Torch Red, are doing the highest, followed by gray and black. And then on the interiors, the black and the red are doing the highest. And then on the Z06, there we go. On the Z06, it's a little bit different. Black is the highest, and then followed by white, gray, and then red. And then of course the yellow is a little bit higher in the Z06 too, because of the racing connection, which we're going to talk about some more in a bit. Okay, so what's new for 2016? Tej went over some of the things. I'll go a little bit more detail. Of course, Tej mentioned the magnetic ride. So we now have 4 chassis packages on the Stingray. So we have the standard, you get magnetic ride, you get Z51 and Z51 with magnetic ride. So we got all 4 combinations. And the nice thing about the magnetic ride, a lot of people like the bigger wheels as well, the bigger 19s and 20s. That comes with that magnetic ride package as well as the spoiler. We talked about the power cinching latch. The camera, this isn't maybe the best picture, but this is what it shows you. There's actually 2 cameras, and that's what you're seeing in the bottom 2 corners there. This shows some lines. This is in the garage, which is showing some lines. But what the software does, it puts those 2, it digitally combines that image into a top-down image. So you kind of see the car, so you see the curb, you're driving up, it's like a bird's eye view looking down and seeing the top of the car. The other thing we've done a lot is it's a big update for the infotainment system. One of the nice things about this new architecture, as everybody remembers, on the 6th generation car, we were kind of a standalone car, and we had the same navigation system pretty much from 05 to 2013. And this time, we're sharing a lot with the basic electronics across General Motors, so it enables us to do quicker updates. And this is a new navigation. Some of the nice things now, you can cancel the navigation or mute the voice if you don't want to hear her telling you what to do. It's really quick. You don't have to. It's not buried in the menu anymore. You can just pick that right off the screen. And also some nice things that it shows you, like the street that you're driving on, which is always a good reference. Make sure you're going the right way, things like that. And it is a much quicker, when you push the buttons, you'll notice it works a little bit faster as well. And then we're so performance data recorder. We have a cute little new icon to push when you want to activate that. Okay, on the exterior, we have a new standard Stingray wheel. Again, it's available in the same 4 finishes, the silver, the black machine, black, and the chrome. And it's more of a split spoke design, so it's cool. Also, a lot of you guys asked for this. If you get the carbon flash badge package, the black metallic badges, what we're going to do now is we're going to black out the chrome strip on the, I know a lot of you guys know that. And this new hood option, a lot of people, you're familiar with the roof option that has the visible carbon. This kind of extends that now. The hood is also carbon fiber, so you'll have a section like the Stinger section of the hood will be visible, clear-coated carbon as well. And then some new wheel options on the Z06, we call that the blade wheel. And it'll be available, as you see there, in the silver or black as well. And then colors, everybody likes to hear about colors. A lot of rumors going around about that. And a lot of people, I got panic messages and calls when we announced a constraint in the yellow. Like, how can Corvette not have a yellow? Like, what? And they said, no, we're gonna have a yellow, don't worry about it. And everybody's like, well, what does this new yellow look like? Again, everybody's watching the Corvette race car this year, right? That's the new yellow. It's been on that car. You've been watching it all this time. You didn't even realize it, haven't you? And we're calling it Corvette Racing Yellow. Is we're calling color because it is our official Corvette Racing Yellow, and it will be the same as the production car. The other new color, we have another new color also, and called Long Beach Red. It's a metallic tint coat, and we've had a lot of history with this family of color. People remember Magnetic Red and Monterey Red and 50th Anniversary Red, and most recently Crystal Red. So this is the newest iteration of that color. It's very rich, and you're going to see that pretty soon also. So we'll have the colors out there to show pretty soon. And there we go. And then the other thing we're very excited about is we have a special edition that we're going to show you pretty soon. It's again, if you're a fan of Corvette racing, which most of you are, we wanted to create the ultimate Z06 for people that love Corvette racing, and really celebrates our track-to-street technology transfer. And it's going to be a special car, limited to just 500 with a specific VIN. They'll be available both in the coupe and the convertible. And another thing we're doing that's a little bit new is we tried a little bit this year. We had the Atlantic package, Pacific package. We're going to expand that a little bit more. We have 3 new design packages. And we have a lot of options. There's a lot of ways, as you know, to order your car. It can get confusing, all the different packages. So we got, our design team, Ryan and Kirk and their teams together and said, design 3 and also the color studio, put together 3 kind of packages that you would kind of recommend, with new colors, new features, and to make these 3 design packages that that we're going to offer is basically comes equipped, comes fully equipped. So I'm really going to let Ryan Vaughn from Design go into this in even more detail.
And as Ryan steps up there, I just wanted to, he's probably not as familiar to many of you as Harlan is, who's present at every place more than 10 Corvette owners are gathered. Ryan is, came to us to work on the 7th generation car, and probably the thing that was most widely noted as an upgrade on the car was the interior. Everybody kind of expected the usual engine upgrades, chassis, blah, blah, blah. Same stuff Corvette always does. The biggest weakness on the previous generation car was always pointed at the interior. Well, no single individual has more to do with the upgrade of the interior on the 7th generation car as this man, Ryan Vaughn.
Thank you very much, Tad. Thank you, Tad, very much. Thank you, Harlan. So they've already taken you through kind of the overview of what's going on for model year 16. And I'm going to go into some of the details of what's going on with the car from an appearance point of view. So first up, as Harlan said, our homage to the C7R race car that's had so much success is the C7R Edition Z06. So this is a special Z06 with an appearance package on the exterior and interior. It comes in 2 colors. One is the new Corvette Racing Yellow, as well as black. The black Z06 wheels that will have a yellow stripe on it. The car has a lot of really cool details in it. So it's got the yellow stripe on the wheels, yellow calipers. It has an exposed carbon hood, Jake center caps on the wheels, and the exterior vents are, instead of being carbon flash like you would typically see there, Spectra gray. So a lot of kind of cool details on the car. Available in a coupe and convertible. It's only going to be 500 of these, so it's a very limited edition, very special car. And you can kind of see the car both in the Corvette Racing Yellow and the black. Has a graphics package as well. You can see the Jake logo in the Stinger, C7R logo on the hood, on the roof there. On the interior, it comes with a special interior package, which is black leather and black suede, very sporty, very racy combination. And the suede is actually on the cockpit shapes, those arches that are in front of the driver and passenger. Those are black suede, as well as the armrests and the seat inserts. The interior also has yellow contrast stitching. So it's a black suede interior with yellow stitching. Competition seats. There's a really cool logo on the C7R logo is integrated onto the seat. It's actually embossed and debossed into the leather. And we actually laser etch the word edition onto the seat, which we've never done before. We've never used that process before on Corvette. It's really cool. It gives you a really precise detail there on the seat. And the IP plaque is of course special for C7R, and it has the trophies on it that, in case you forget how many championships we've won, you can look at the plaque and it'll tell you. And as you've already seen in the back of the room, this edition will come with a special car cover that is made to look like the race car. It's extremely cool. And the detail on that is amazing too. It's got every little thing. You can even, I was looking at it earlier, you can even see there's like an image of the cooling fan behind the rear fascia in the car cover. It's awesome. Design packages, Harlan mentioned these. There's so much reconfigurability in the car, you can select so many different options. We wanted to put together a few packages that were special, things that were designed, we designed specifically to go together in a specific way. You can just buy it as one package and know that everything's been coordinated to work together. So there's 3 of these for 2016. The first is Twilight Blue design package. So this is a car that comes in a few different exterior colors to go with a new Twilight Blue interior. So the car comes in shark gray, silver, white, night race blue. Coupe and convertible. The convertible's got a blue top. You get the motorsport wheels on the Stingray. I believe you see in the next picture. So you can see in the upper right-hand corner the motorsport wheels on the Stingray. If you get it on Z06, it comes with the blade wheels on Z06. All these packages, by the way, are available both on the Stingray and the Z06. You can get either one. And you can see the tricolor stripe as well. That's an option. You can see that better here. This red, white, and blue stripe that runs off the cross flags down the center of the car. Very cool. Black or gray brake calipers. And on the interior, this has all been coordinated together with the interior as a package again. And it's a twilight blue interior, but it's dipped. So from that stitch line down that goes all the way around the interior down is twilight blue. So it's a different breakup than, for instance, what you get on the Z06 now with twilight blue. Has mystic blue stitching as well. It comes with the carbon fiber, the FAY carbon fiber IP. Next package is Spice Red. So this is a car that it has a dipped red interior and an exterior that comes in the new Long Beach red, as well as Shark Gray and Blade Silver and Arctic White, again, all coordinated to go together. Coupe and convertible. The convertible gets a spice red top. The vents on the car are Shark Gray instead of carbon flash. They stay carbon flash on the Long Beach red car. Again, the motorsport wheels for the Stingray, the blade wheels, the new accessory blade wheels for the Z06. And the interior is a new red that we're calling Spice Red. And it's darker than Adrenaline. It's more of like a luxury red. And it's, again, another dipped color breakup. So everything from that stitched line that goes around the whole interior down is Spice Red. So it's real rich looking interior. This interior and the blue one before it, there's a bit of a heritage there as well. You look back and see the kind of the blue on blue or the red on red cars that we used to do with a completely dipped red interior. So it's kind of a cool thing to pay homage to. It really gives the car a nice look and another choice for red. So similar to like the exterior, we have like a bright red, the torch red, or the darker red, now Long Beach. Now you have the same choice on the interior, bright Adrenaline red or the more luxury Spice Red. Carpets are still black, yes. The third is the black suede package. So you can see here it's a very serious looking car, very performance oriented. It comes in black, blade silver, Arctic white, or torch red. You get black wheels. They are satin black in this case instead of the high gloss black like we've seen up to this point. They have a red stripe, which is a really cool detail. The badges are carbon flash. And this car also has a kind of a satin on flat black Jake stripe on the stinger area of the hood. So it's like a flat black with a satin detail, the Jake logo. On this interior, this is similar to the C7R edition in that it's black and black suede. In this case, it has a gray stitch. But again, the black is surrounding the occupants and the passengers in the cockpits that go in front of them. Those two arch shapes, those are in black suede. Seat inserts and armrests are all black suede with a gray stitch. This car also gets a high gloss carbon fiber, so the carbon fiber panel on the IP in front of the driver that has been kind of a satin finish up to this point. For the first time, we're going to be offering that in high gloss finish. And that'll coordinate with the steering wheel and the seats. You get the competition seats. Of course, all that carbon fiber will match and be high gloss. Okay, so there's a few other details that are new to the interior specifically for model year 16. The first is, as Taj and Harlan mentioned, the flat bottom steering wheel is now across the board. So it's been really well received on Z06. It's now Stingray as well. So basically every Corvette from model year 16 on will have a flat bottom steering wheel. In the Z06, it's carbon fibers. It's the same as it has been. The trim plate on the bottom is carbon fiber. For Stingray, it's octane. So if you think about the trim plate in front of the driver there, it's that same finish on the steering wheel trim plate there. Also, there's a steering wheel that we're calling the competition steering wheel. Now this is, if you get a competition seats and you order them with suede inserts, you get a suede steering wheel and a suede shifter. So we've created what we're calling a competition steering wheel to coordinate with that package. So if you do check those two boxes, competition seats and suede inserts, you get a suede steering wheel, in this case with a carbon fiber trim plate here on the bottom with a competition logo on it. So you can kind of see that here at the bottom. Competition logo that coordinates with the logo on the seat. So the competition seat, competition steering wheel, and coordinating logos, and both have carbon fiber, so it kind of ties together into one cohesive package. Also, a little detail for 16, we're doing a metal plated start-stop switch, so it's got an aluminum finish on it. The ring around it, which has been kind of a satin chrome, is piano black. So it gives a little bit more detail, a little more richness to the start-stop switch. We really want that to feel as special as it possibly can. So starting the car is already an occasion. We want it to be even more so by making the switch as special as it can be. Two-tone seats. We're offering two-tone seats again, starting in model year 16, and they are available in adrenaline red, light gray if it's a Stingray, and dark gray if it's a Z06. And there's two different breakups. There's two different ways that this works. So if you get an all-leather seat, this is GTC only, by the way. If you get an all-leather seat, the breakup is as you see it on the left. So in this case, it's showing a red seat. You get the inserts and the upper portion of the seat come in the contrasting color. If you get a suede seat, it's like on the right. So the color is all around the outside of the seat, and the inserts are black suede. So it works the same way in all three colors. Also, accent stitch packages are back. So we've got a black with red stitch. So this is the 3LT, 3LZ leather interior, black with red stitch, and black leather with yellow stitch. Again, new for 16. The color breakups are getting modified a little bit for 16. We really looked at what people were ordering with how the colors were broken up, listened to a lot of your feedback, and we've gone back and looked at the overall strategy to try to have it make more sense, be more consistent as you go from a 1 to a 2 to a 3 or a Stingray to a Z06. The way the color breakups work, kind of simplify it and make it a little bit more consistent as you go through the car. So starting with Stingray, the big change here is the 3LT Kalahari interior. You can see the highlighted one in the box. Now today, up until this point, that's been the dipped interior. So again, that big stitch line that goes all the way through the interior, from there down was Kalahari. Now it's gonna have the same breakup as, say, the adrenaline red or the light gray. So those cockpit shapes in front of the driver and passenger will be Kalahari, the armrests, and the seats. So now you have a consistent breakup from the gray to the red to the Kalahari. They all work the same way. So this shows you what that was like in 14 and 15, just as a comparison, and this is what it's like for 16. So you can see the color now on the kind of drawing out those cockpit shapes, playing those up. For Z06, the change here is to the level 3 car, so the 3LZ. You can see the highlighted boxes at the bottom. For 15, if you got a contrasting color, it was only on that driver's side cockpit shape. Now it'll be on both the driver's side and passenger side from 16 on. So to kind of show you how that works, this is what a model year 15 3LZ adrenaline red car would have looked like. And this is the 16 version, so you can see the passenger side is in red. So again, you've got that color going across the whole interior and really drawing out those cockpit shapes. So this works the same, should I go backwards here? This works the same for the gray, the red, the Kalahari, and twilight blue. Also, you'll see down at the bottom, the brownstone interior, the dipped brownstone, is now available on Z06. So up to this point, it's only been on Stingray. you'll now be able to get that on a Z06. This chart describes how the color breakups work. I've got this with me. I can show it to you later if you're still confused. I can kind of go through with you and show you how it works. I've also got samples of all the colors. I've got leather samples sewn up, so if you're curious to see what the colors look like, you want to see them out in the sunlight, just come and find me and I can show you the samples and you can see them in real life.
Tired. We had enough to do just getting the car out, you know, in its basic form. We have limited resources on our team, and so we kind of have to get the basics right. And so you see it every time a new Corvette's introduced. You do the basic models, and then you start introducing new variants. There's a limited capacity, I guess, to manage all this. Every one of these options adds complexity. Ryan's team has to decide what it is and release it. Engineering has to release it, spec it out to the suppliers, validate it. The suppliers have to gear up to handle more different part numbers for the different complexity. Jeff's team at the plant has to manage all of that. You have to decide, can you stock all those different part numbers on the side of the line? Do they have to be coming in sequence? You have to train the operators. This means that, this RPO means that. So there's a huge amount of work associated with this level of customization. So it's always a balance of, you know, letting everybody just free express everything they want versus how do we manage it such that we don't end up, you know, building a car with different color on one side and the other. You know, if we're not careful and it's too complicated, it becomes impossible to manage. So we really try to level our own workload, but still try to manage to give you as much customization options as you can. And you see, 16 is a pretty big year. You're going to be able to get a lot of stuff that's very specific. We're going to be rolling, you know, people may ask, well, when are you going to have all these available? They'll all be available by the end of this year, the C7R specifically. There's a lot of last minute details on that. That'll be available in the fourth quarter, and you'll start to see the other design packages and things shortly after we change over to the 2016 model this summer. So we can take a few questions. We do want to reveal the car that's here and then have time to go out and look at the stuff we got outside. But if there's any questions people want to ask, we can take them. We still have Jeff here and Harlan and Ryan, anything that we're dying to hear from. Let's go back here.
Hold on, let me get up down there for hear it. Where
You
are
got the mic?
Yeah. Where are you?
Can shout it out. I pointed at him.
Who's him? There's a lot of hims.
The middle-aged white guy back there.
Where's him?
When the voice recording feature of the Valet mode was first announced, there were some minority of states that raised some kind of legality issue. How was that resolved, if at all?
Okay, I think you're asking about privacy issues. There were some privacy issues about you have to notify people that they're being recorded. We've actually tweaked the system. In fact, when you get the upgrade that I talked about that improves the visual, you're also going to see some additional messaging that comes up that tells people that they're being recorded. This was a learning experience for us. We were the first people to do this around the world. We found out there was all kinds of laws, and much of it is very gray because it's actually intended to apply to cell phones and security cameras and things. Nobody was really thinking about the use case of in a car, and so we're kind of sorting theirs out. And in fact, in some countries in Europe, it's still not available because we haven't sorted out what does it exactly mean and who says a law that was written for phones applies to cars. Is that a device? You know, they call it a device. Is this a device? So we're working that out, but you will see some evolution in it as we respond to the interpretation of those laws. So thanks for the question.
I have a question for the improvements for 2016, specifically the front cameras, the rear trunk latch, and the infotainment. Are those able to be retrofitted in a 2015 or 2014? And related to that, the owner's manual for the 2015 says something about a teen driving mode where you can reduce the power. And is that available?
Okay, that was a lot of questions. Basically, yeah, Harlan gives the short answer, no, covers all of them. The infotainment is both hardware and software, and I talked about the PDR. That is back serviceable. We try to make things back serviceable when you can, but when you got a hardware change, a lot of times you can't, because it's not just that hardware, it's the way it talks to all the other computers in the car, and there's an enormous number of computers, different modules in the car. The front camera system would be an enormous tear up to put in the car, so the general answer is no, it would be not worth your while to try to do that.
How about the trunk pull down? Can you retrofit the trunk pull down?
Trunk pull down, that'd be another big one. That may not be quite as big, but it's not as simple as just bolting in a latch. It's a different kind of latch. It actually has some different hardware. It was extremely expensive. We had to retool a bunch of parts in the back of the car to fit it in, so that's not a simple retrofit either. As time goes on, though, the hatch should get easier and easier to close as the seals break in. It's typically hardest when it's brand new, and then over time it'll get easier. But we want to make it easy to close right out of the factory.
On the PDR, did you put dual inputs for microphone to capture the student and instructors' comments during track days?
The PDR has a single mic. It's in the camera, actually, on center line. So the idea is to, that they would pick up either driver or passenger plus background noise. Yeah, with a helmet on, it'd be very tough. You really need a wire that you plug into your helmet. So that's good input for some future evolution of the feature. So thank you.
So will production for the 16 Sting and the Z06 both begin around the June timeframe?
End of June, early July, our normal changeover, although the plant is not changing over. I mean, we've been working solid, Jeff can talk to this better than me, but we've been just working straight through, so normally you have a week, and most plants, sometimes 2 weeks shut down where you change over the tools. Not us, it's a rolling model change. Okay.
This is a request from some of us who don't live in the southern climates. Is there anything in the future where we'd be offered a tire from the factory that would be more of a 12-month-a-year or all-season tire?
We have a big meeting with Michelin, actually a couple of weeks from now, and we're going to talk about that very subject. We've offered, back when Goodyear was our supplier, we offered winter tires or all-season tires, and 90% of the tires were purchased by General Motors engineers, because we were the only ones driving around in the winter. But we do recognize that some people want to have more of an all-season tire, and the truth is, it's like the horsepower wars. There's the chassis wars, and I was talking about braking distance and cornering. That's another war. There's constantly escalating performance, and that's pushing tires to be more and more extreme, and that means you're compromising wet and snow traction. So one of the big things we want to talk to Michelin is, even though you won't sell a lot, for people who really want more all-season performance, we really need to have those available. So we've heard that, and we're going to try to do something about it.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for listening to your customers, because you really and truly
Raise your hand, whoever's talking.
Really and truly do listen to your customers. It's very appreciated. I remember asking Harlan in 2013 at the Chicago Auto Show reveal, is there going to be a front curb alert system? And Harlan went like this and said, no. Is it possible to get a window indexing software upgrade for the rear hatch? That would greatly reduce the pressure for closing.
We've looked at that quite a number of times. A lot of people know we have indexing door glass. It drops a little bit, like a half an inch, every time you open the door to make it easier to close. So the question is, and everybody's noticed this, if the doors are open or the windows are down, the hatch closes much easier. So why don't you just index the glass down more? There's a couple of reasons why we've done. The main reason is it's illegal. There's pinch requirements that would force us to basically redesign the whole thing to index the glass down. The federal government actually requires that you not pull the glass more than 4 millimeters off the seal, which isn't enough to help you close the hatch. You have to drop it down about 1.5 inches, and that violates the pinch protection laws that are in place. The second thing is we thought people might be confused. You know, it's raining, you go to run something out of the, you know, open the hatch, and all of a sudden the passenger's windows index is down and all the water on the roof pours down on the person sitting there, and they might not have the kindest words to speak to you because you're out there getting something out of the trunk. And I'm sorry Harlan had to lie to you. You guys all understand it's a condition of our employment that we lie to customers. So we never talk about future product. We can't. It's what we have to do. We have to keep what is in the future. You know, we have to keep that secret. We have to basically tell you what we're available today, and we'll trust me. We listen to you, and we try to bring stuff out, and we don't intentionally delay. We've been accused of that too. You guys hold back intentionally so that when you bring out this great new feature, you do it just to make us buy a new car. We don't do that. We always are pushing as hard as we can to get as much out as possible, but there is a limited capacity on how much we can do, and so we sort of have to prioritize what we can get out first, second, third year. So thank you for the question. Right here.
Those of us that remember back to the 60s, many of us had wonderful white interiors and white convertible tops. About a year or two ago, I emailed Harlan and said it would be a great idea to do it as a classic edition. And he said it takes several years lead time. So in front of all of you now, I would, even if it's just for 1 year, if you could, those of us that want a white interior and or a white convertible top, it would be wonderful if you could do that for us.
Well, I'm not as good at lying as Harlan is. So, yeah, I'll get better, I'm sure. We're always looking at new ideas.
Sorry, I handed the mic to Ryan now. But yeah, light interiors, there's a lot of luxury brands that have light interiors. One of the issues was they get dirty really fast, and white in particular. We've had pushback from our top supplier, very specifically when we tried to do light tops, because they get the warranty when somebody has a light colored top and then it gets dirty and they can't clean it, they bring it back to the dealer and say there's this stain, and for goodwill purposes, we'll replace the top, which is very expensive. And so you personally, okay, we'll just make one for you. So it's a tough deal. It's a tough deal doing those light colors, but you've seen we have tried to bring more light colors in over time.
Let's take two more because we're going to do the unveiling here shortly.
On the stage 3 Aero to stage 1, the mile per hour delta, what do you figure that is, the difference above 150, et cetera?
You're talking about top speed?
Yeah.
The base C06, stage 1, our claim top speed is 195, and I think the stage 3 is 186, so 9 miles per hour different absolute top end.
Okay, one more right over here, and then we'll do the unveil.
Okay?
Okay, you said the production was going to start the normal in June, July time. When can we submit orders? And is that the same date for as the Z06 will be?
Yeah, actually the order guides are going out as we speak. So Monday, all the dealers will have the order guides, so you can start configuring. But the orders actually will be pulled in. I think it's first week in May or second week in May before they're actually can be pulled in. But the orders will be out the order guide information will all be out Monday. Z06 and Stingray is all the same timing, all the models. No, pricing comes out a bit later, but was always says you can afford a 2015, you can afford a 2016.
You are good at lying. All right, Hey, that sounds exciting, guys. Let's give him a big hand. Let's go look at the new car. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be here today and tomorrow for sure. So I'm sure there's a lot of questions that we didn't get answered. And we'll be back here 1 o'clock tomorrow, I think, if I'm remembering right. If you guys want to ask more questions. Okay, so we're going to head back here and pull the cover.
Okay, just so you guys know, we're going to unveil the C7 artificials back this room, and then also outside, just outside the window, we have an example of each of the 3 design packages: the Valet blue, the spice red, and the black jetpack suite outside. So if you look at this room, make sure you go outside, and then we'll hang around and answer questions or cars.
I'll be here more than 3 minutes. I mean, I'll give you a picture.
Can't make out what all the stripe on the roof says. It looks like it says Corvette, but it's all like it's half and half or something. I can't see it. You have to get a drone.
I'll get that one to you. I'll get that to you. Oh, you are ready to go. All right, you guys. I'm trying to get that email thing straight. You're going to get posters and strawberries forever. Yeah, we had a problem. We sent them that email. All right,
Yeah. All right, now you can see it. It really is. It is.